Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day today. My name is Andrew Heishman. I'm the lead forecaster here in WW116. So, for today's video, we'll be taking a look at the radar of the current winter storm that we're currently seeing across bits of the northern plains. We'll take a look at the Storm Prediction Center as we are expecting some severe weather, including some tornadoes. So you guys will definitely want to stay tuned for that. We'll take a look at the satellite view as well as the models, and at the end of the video, we'll take a look at the National Weather Service hazard, followed by the picture of the day. But anyways, guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it. Alrighty, guys, so for today's question of the day, I'm wanting to know, what is something that you wished you figured out sooner? Leave it down in the comments below, and I just might heart your comment. But anyways, guys, we're trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of this year, so if you guys are not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as leave a like. It'll be greatly appreciated. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it. Alright, guys, so we're taking a look here at the radar view in terms of things. We actually do have that current snowstorm that's impacting bits of the upper northwest into the northern plains. This does include bits of the upper elevations of Washington State and through northern parts of Idaho into Montana, North and South Dakota, as well as in Minnesota and northern parts of Iowa. Currently seeing some snowfall as a result from this winter storm. So we do continue to move up to the northeast here. We actually do have a little bit more snow shower activity across bits of New York, kind of moving its way into Vermont here. Now, the further we do kind of zoom out, we actually do have a little bit more shower activity across bits of Arkansas and through bits of central Mississippi. So that's basically what we're dealing with in terms of the radar. So let's go and take a look here at the Storm Prediction Center, and let's see what we're dealing with in terms of your current thunderstorm forecast. Alright, guys, so we're taking a look here at the Day 1 Convective Outlook. This is basically your thunderstorm forecast for today. We do have a generalized thunderstorm threat across bits of the southern plains here in the southern Midwest here, for places such as northeastern Texas, eastern Oklahoma, through central Arkansas, into bits of northern Louisiana, basically central and northern parts of Mississippi, and through bits of central and northern parts of Alabama as well. Basically just showing that your average thunderstorms cannot be ruled out, however, not necessarily meaning severe, but just, maybe a thunderstorm or two can form in the side of these areas. So, we do move on to our Day 2 Outlook. This is for tomorrow. We actually do have a slight risk in effect. This is severe threat level 2 out of 5. We actually have a decent chance that we could see some severe thunderstorms tomorrow with the chance for tornadoes. So, we do have a 5% chance for tornadoes across bits of this area here in kind of brown. This is basically showing that every single 25 miles, you have a 5% chance of seeing a tornado inside of this region. So, it cannot be ruled out that we definitely could see a tornado or two in this area. Now, following that, we actually do have an even larger 2% region going through bits of the Ohio Valley all the way down into bits of these, the southern Midwest and two parts of the southeast. So that's basically what we're dealing with in terms of that. Now, we do actually have a wind threat as well. We actually have a 15% chance, kind of for that 5% chance for the tornadoes as well. A 15% chance that you could see some damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, as well as that larger 5% region kind of stretching out through those areas. Now, in terms of hail, we actually do have the chance for hail as well. We have a 5% chance of seeing hail 1 inch in diameter or greater across this area here. So basically, we are kind of moving ourselves into the colder months now, in which, there is a lot of, instability in terms of things. Like there's a lot of colder airs in the upper atmosphere, as well as that warmer air that's kind of moving its way in through from the Gulf, which can actually allow for instances of a cold atmosphere above, which actually in some cases can produce some, severe weather outbreaks, as well as the potential for some hail if there is one. So that's basically what we're dealing with in terms of that. We do move on to our Day 3 Convective Outlook. We do have a marginal risk in effect across bits of eastern Texas, through bits of southern parts of Louisiana and western parts of Mississippi, with an even larger generalized thunderstorm risk across bits of the Tennessee Valley, moving in through the southeast. Now, we actually do have another set of generalized thunderstorms across bits of the northeast for places such as, Connecticut, Rhode Island, as well as, Massachusetts. So that's basically what we're dealing with in terms of the thunderstorm forecast. So let's go and take a look here at the satellite view, and let's see what we're dealing with in terms of the current weather across the nation. Alright, guys, so we're taking a look here at the satellite view in terms of things. We actually do have some cloud cover across bits of the southeast. However, across the southwest, we've been dealing with some relatively sunny skies over the last several days. Now, the further you do move up toward the north, so basically towards the upper northwest and through the northern plains and the upper Midwest, we are seeing a lot of cloud cover. This is associated with that winter storm that we're currently seeing, in which, we actually saw here on the radar view a minute ago. So, we actually do have a little bit, bit more cloud cover across bits of the northeast, for the central parts of the northeast. However, places such as Maine is looking relatively clear for the most part. Now we move into the mid-Atlantic region. It's relatively clear for the northern part of the mid-Atlantic, but as you start to dive more south, you are starting to see a little bit more cloud cover. So, let's go and take a look here at the models, and let's see what we're dealing with in terms of the upcoming weather. Alrighty guys, so we're taking a look here at the models in terms of things. This is your North American model. So we do have that snowstorm across bits of the upper northwest with relatively high pressure in place across bits of the central plains and through bits of the Midwest. So further down the line, this system is tracking to the east. This will allow for some snow to fall across bits of the Dakotas and through bits of Minnesota. Further down the line, we actually might see some snow falling across bits of northern Wisconsin as well. However, this system is expected to pretty much wrap in itself, potentially allowing for some, mixed precipitation across bits of southern Wisconsin and through bits of northern Illinois, as the system does, generally track in that direction. So further down the line, a cold front will spark, across bits of the southern Midwest here and through bits of the Ohio Valley, in which, honestly, a few thunderstorms cannot be ruled out, in which we actually took a look here at the Storm Prediction Center. We do have that slight risk in effect due to a pretty potent cold front. This is actually going to drive a lot of cold air down into the central parts of the country. So further down the line, this cold front will generally track its way to the east, going through bits of the southeast. However, it looks like it's kind of breaking up around the mid-Atlantic region, and this will actually allow for some rain to fall across bits of the northeast. So let's go and take a look here at the GFS model, and let's see what we're dealing with in terms of that. Alrighty guys, so we're taking a look here at the GFS model in terms of things, so we're kind of picking up from where we left off here. So that system is generally tracking to the east, now moving pretty much to the northeast. Now we do have the high pressure in effect across bits of the upper plains and through the northern Midwest here. So further down the line, we will actually get another winter system that will start to impact bits of the upper Midwest for places such as Iowa, into bits of Missouri. This will generally track its way eastward, allowing for some snow to fall across bits of the Ohio Valley and through bits of the Mid-Atlantic. And now further down the line, this is really going to get a hold of itself, allowing for a decent amount of snowfall to potentially fall across bits of the northeast here, as you might be able to see here. This has actually been a trend for the last several days, so the probability of this system actually happening is quite high. However, there is still things that can still fluctuate in terms of what can happen. It just really depends on where this track kind of ends up in terms of things. So further down the line, that's basically what we're dealing with. We actually might have a few more snowstorms across bits of these central plains here, according to this model. However, the further you do go out in this model, the more inaccurate things tend to get. So let's go and take a look here at the temperatures, and let's see what we're dealing with in terms of what this model has to say about that. Alrighty guys, so we're taking a look here at the GFS model still. However, now we are taking a look at those temperatures. So further down the line, we actually do get that winter system that impacts the northern parts of the country. This will actually drive a lot of cold air down into the states, from areas such as the central plains here, basically up into the upper Midwest, allowing for those really cold temperatures to occur. Now look at this. Over the last several days, we've actually been monitoring that we could potentially see temperatures in the negatives across bits of northeastern Montana, through bits of central and northern parts of North Dakota, as well as pretty much northwestern parts of Minnesota. As you can actually see here, this is actually showing the potential we could see that drop into the negative. So that's just something we're going to have to monitor over the next few days. If we drop down a model here, as you can see, it's still supporting those negative temperatures. For the last several runs, they've actually been kind of consistent in showing that we could potentially see some temperatures here in the negatives across that area. So then further down the line, this cold front will advance mostly to the east, allowing for that colder air to really drive its way down through the Midwest and into parts of the southeast. And then further down the line, this pretty much just kind of moves its way out of the region. And actually, this model actually shows that we could potentially see another cold front further down the line, really driving those temperatures down again. So let's go and take a look here at the temperature anomalies in terms of what this model has to say about those temperatures. Alright guys, so we're taking a look here at the GFS model still. However, now we are taking a look at those temperature anomalies. So basically, how this works, you have the areas in red, which basically shows that the temperatures are above average to normal, and we have the blue, which basically shows that the temperatures are below average. So relatively below average temperatures are expected across bits of the northeast, as well as relatively above average temperatures across bits of the most of the country here, as you can see kind of in this oranges and red, basically showing that temperatures are above average for this time of year. So this is basically based off of data from 1981 all the way through 2010. And this is basically showing that for this time of year, we are relatively above average for most of the country. So then further down the line, we actually will get that colder air that really advances its way into the country with that significant cold down that we are expecting. This is really going to drive those temperatures relatively cold across bits of the central country, generally moving itself eastward, allowing for those colder temperatures to kind of move through the Ohio Valley and through bits of the Mid-Atlantic and eventually into bits of the Northeast. And then further down the line, the things, looks like it's going to heat up a little bit for the southern parts of the country. However, this model was actually suggesting that we might actually see another cool down eventually further down the line. But like I said, the further you do go, into this model, the more inaccurate they do tend to get. So that's basically what we're dealing with in terms of the models. So let's go and take a look here at the National Weather Service hazards, and let's see what we're dealing with in terms of that. Alrighty guys, so we're taking a look here at the National Weather Service hazards in terms of things. So there's quite a lot that's going on right now. We actually do have some high wind watches across bits of western parts of South Dakota, southern parts of North Dakota, as well as bits of northern parts of Colorado. bits of Wisconsin here, basically into eastern bits of Idaho, and basically western New York State here. Basically just showing that high winds are possible, so just stay alert for high wind warnings that might be needed further down the line. So in terms of that, we actually do have some high wind warnings across bits of central Wyoming, moving in through bits of southwestern parts of Montana here, basically showing that high winds are expected, in which if you guys have anything that's loose, I'd recommend bringing it in just until this has been lifted. So following that, we actually do have a few sets of dense fog advisories across bits of central California and through western parts of Idaho and basically central parts of Nebraska here, basically just showing that dense fog is expected, so difficulties with travel cannot be ruled out. Now, we actually do have a wind advisory across bits of northern Oregon as well as southern Washington State, basically showing that gusty winds are still possible. However, same thing, I'd recommend bringing anything that's loose inside just until this has been lifted. Now, in terms of the winter side of things, we actually do have a lot going on. We do have a lot of wind weather advisories across bits of Washington State, moving through northern Idaho as well as northern Montana, and through bits of pretty much central parts of North Dakota. So, and then following that, we actually do have a thunderstorm watch in effect across bits of eastern North Dakota as well as western parts of Minnesota. And then, of course, we do have our winter storm warnings across bits of northeastern Montana, northern parts of North Dakota, as well as northern parts of Minnesota and northern parts of bits of Wisconsin. So we actually do have a blizzard warning in effect across bits of extreme northeastern parts of Minnesota here. We are expecting blizzard conditions. This is usually combated with a lot of snowfall as well as some heavy winds and poor visibility. So that's usually what blizzard warnings mean in terms of things. So, alrighty guys, so that's going to wrap it up for the current hazards. So let's go and take a look here at the picture of the day and let's see what we're dealing with in terms of that. Alrighty guys, so this is the picture of the day. This one goes to my man Daystormer, so congratulations on being selected for today's video. This is a beautiful shot of a nice autumn view here with the nice path going right through it. So congratulations once again on being selected for today's video. Now, if you guys would like to publish content on potentially being in one of our further videos, join our Discord down below, in which I'll leave a link in the description. You guys can post it to our channel there, in which you could actually potentially be in one of our further videos. But anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you leave a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. You guys are honestly amazing, and I appreciate all y'all's support. But anyways, guys, once again, I hope you all have a wonderful day today, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.